and welcome to More Money at Champion. All right. How do we make more money in Tupperware? Well, there's lots of ways to look at this. You can do this for a career, you can do this for a hobby, you can do this strictly for the money, and that means you want to be on this call tonight. If you're here for a career, you want to be on this call tonight. If you're here because you want to make as much money as you possibly can while you are working, and so you want to work smarter instead of harder, you need to be on this call tonight. If you are here because you would like to have a very lucrative gig, then you're on the right place tonight. You're on the right call. And so I want to thank the girls for being on. I see we have a couple directors on, and I know some of you have noticed their paychecks are pretty significant. And it's pretty exciting to see right in our own company, these kind of dreams come true. So as you're looking over this information this evening, and it's a lot, I want you to know that this happens at Champion too. And so it is pretty exciting because, it's easy to say and look in the pictures and see people's names and think, yeah, but, get your butt out of my face. If you want to make this work, you've got to decide that this is going to work and you're going to make it happen. And so I want to just start with our screens real quick. And Ellen and I are going to go back and forth on some of this. And so tag team a little bit so you don't have to listen to the same voice. But Champion Enterprises, we are leaders in excellence. And in the nation, we are one of the top companies in North America. And we're proud of that for a couple reasons. One of the main reasons is that means we have a lot of people making money. All right. It's not always about the title. It really isn't. It's about how many people are you helping and who can you take to the next level. And so Jim and I started the Tupperware business literally. I started when I was very young. I was 23 and I had no intention, absolutely none, of making this a career. It was a hobby. It was honestly, I gave up ceramics. And if I would give up ceramics, we made a deal that I could do Tupperware and I could get all the Tupperware I wanted in my kitchen. And that was my goal, was just to get everything I wanted in my kitchen because I went to a Tupperware party and there was so much in there. And the budget didn't have me spending that kind of money on Tupperware. And so it just made sense for me to join the team and get the discount. So I came on to do that. I was going to fill my kitchen up and then I was going to get out. I really didn't know there was money in Tupperware, but I did know there was Tupperware I wanted in my kitchen. And so I had full intentions of going ahead and getting everything I wanted and getting out. This is me when I started Tupperware. This is actually the night of my very first Tupperware party. I have to tell you, I still remember that dress, and that dress is actually back in style, especially those little sleeves. Puffy sleeves are really back. That little ruffle around the neck, super styling, and even the color. But I will share with you, I know my hair, I washed it so many times it faded. So I don't know what happened there. I was always a very light brown, blonde, like dirty, dark blonde, light brown. But this is after I had two children, only two children. And I still have that rocking chair. I keep wanting to give it away and I can't because it's too sentimental. But Jimmy in uniform. And he was working a 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 7 to 3. And honestly, he changed his shift every 3 weeks. And if you are a part of a family situation where your husband has crazy hours, it's hard to get a job because how am I going to get a job that's going to work around those crazy hours when I still wanted to be a mom. And so Tupperware made a lot of sense right away because I was going to make my own hours and nobody's going to tell me when I had to work. So I'm like, this could work because I could work around Jim's schedule and I was going to schedule my own events. And so Jimmy could work the 3 to 11, 11, 7, 7 to 3 and change every 3 weeks. And he worked 3 side jobs. I'm not kidding. The guy worked very, very hard just to help us make ends meet and help us have the extras in life because you could never look at Gemini and say we needed money. You could never tell by the appearance. But we worked very, very hard to make that happen. And we worked very hard to provide for the kids. And they never went without. So they just didn't. They always had, whatever they needed for school and all that kind of stuff. It was just our pride and wasn't a prideful thing. It was just, I was so proud of my kids. I wanted them to have the best. And so I was willing to sacrifice in order for them to have the best. Plus, I was a seamstress so I could make anything look good. All right. And so Ryan, when I started, was 5 and Justin was 18 months. And boy, oh boy, were they a handful and fun. But I will tell you that years later, this little guy that's 5 right here, thanked me for doing Tupperware because he could remember years before when he would want to sit and just go to bed during the day and lay down with daddy because he wanted to be with daddy. And daddy was working so much, he wasn't with daddy. And so, that's pretty cool. Now that he's 40 something, we were at Disney and it was a free trip from Tupperware. And he thanked me for joining Tupperware because it made it so he could be around his dad more. Yes, there were a few tears that night. I still want to cry when I think about it. And then we added our special little girl, and this is Ashley. And I will tell you, I I actually was only in Tupperware about 2 years before she came along, and she is third time's charm, right? And actually, I'm in her home tonight, and she's the one that just had the baby. And so, if you're on my personal page, you saw a picture of me post of the brand new little boy, and he is 4 months old today. And boy, the best part about this business was being able to be pregnant with her, have her, and be a full-time mom, but yet work myself into a Tupperware career like I was doing, and you can too. And I want to share with you that the biggest goal I had in the business was I wanted my kids to go to college. When I joined Tupperware and I saw the money in my dreams, I thought, this is the way my kids go to college, because there was no way that we were going to able to put our kids through college. It just wasn't going to happen because we were in that middle of the road. We made too much money to get help from the government and didn't make enough money to pay for it. And so, if anybody else is there, that that's a rough place to be. And so Tupperware was the dream that I could have my kids go to college. And I wanted all three of my kids to go to college. And this was the day that Ashley graduated from Ohio State. What a glorious day that was for me, because the dream that I realized in Tupperware happened that night. And then I had to set new goals, new dreams. And that's what I want you to do. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. And today I have to update this picture. I'm missing little people in here, but I will share with you that the joy of the family. All my kids went to Ohio State. I like to tease and say all my kids and all my money, but I will share with you they went to Ohio State, and that I really wanted them to go to college, and I didn't want them to have to sacrifice to go to college. And so they went to college on the lifestyle that they had been raised in. Um, and yes, we've taken lots of trips to Disney. And honestly, Jim and I have been to 32 countries all around the world. We've actually earned another country, but we can't go yet because of COVID. But I want you to think about this. What do you want to be and what do you want to do? What do you want to have and what do you want to give? And the of it all is a why. There's a why in there somewhere. For me, it was the why was I wanted my kids to go to college. But you have a why. And when you find your why, it'll make you cry. And it drives you. It kicks you past those things that want to stop you because, somebody said, oh my goodness, she's so pushy. Or somebody said, Tupperware's too expensive. Or somebody said, all those things you're going to hear anyways. It takes you past them because you have a bigger reason. You have a why that makes you go on. And you have a why that says, you know what? It probably is too expensive for you. Get out of my way. I'm going to the top and I'll find the people that want it. And it's not too expensive. You get what you pay for, just like in anything in life. But I will share with you, there's always going to be those people. Let's get to know you even better. Um, what is your name? And I want you to just right now, everybody tell us all at once. I know we've got our names written right on our screen. What did you do before Tupperware? And why I joined Tupperware, why I'm still here, and what you're looking for. This is your 30-minute commercial. And I want you to write these questions down because you need to have these questions answered at the tip of your tongue. You need to be able to say these questions, okay? And so when somebody's sitting in the elevator and somebody walks in and you went to high school with her and she says, oh my gosh, how are you? And she says, what are you doing? All right, what are you going to say? You're going to say, you know what? I'm with Tupperware and I joined because I wanted to make a little extra money, and I'm staying because I'm making a lot of money and loving it, and I've enjoyed the friendships. So know what you're going to say and be ready to say it because you've got to be ready. Have you ever gone up to your dentist and said, "Oh my gosh, you're still a dentist?" No, your friends are going to come up to you and say, "Oh my gosh, you're still in Tupperware." They're going to say it. You're going to hear it because they don't expect you to stay in Tupperware. You never expect a dentist not to stay a dentist, right? But they're going to say it, and you've got to come up with your answer. And so be ready right now and get ready to be ready. All right. And I want to share with you, you need to be able to say, Yes, I'm still in Tupperware. I absolutely love it. I came in to get some free Tupperware, or I came in because I had a drive and a vision of what I wanted to have for the family, and it's working out. At whatever you know is your why and your reasoning, you want to be ready for it. Congratulations, you just did your I story. Believe in yourself and be on. What does your attitude say about you? It says a lot. Attitude of gratitude will take you to the top. But I want to tell you, if you don't have the right attitude about your business and about your career, it will take you nowhere. It will decide your altitude in this business. 6 foot influence. Everybody around you is influenced by you. What influence are you giving them? You know what? The most important influence you're giving is your children. And so, having a grateful attitude and an attitude of gratitude will teach your children to have the same thing. And if you want to recruit positive, wonderful people, if you want to have hostesses be fun, wonderful people, it comes from you, because that 6 foot circle is going to see 6 feet. Isn't that funny? This was written before COVID. But that 6 foot circle makes a big difference on your success. Um, Tupperware success formula: one party, one new consultant at a time, and recruiting, dating, it's all the one. You just need one new recruit, one new party, one new dating. Always think one more. Word choices on start the conversation, and get rid of the I can't, all right? Because it will destroy your business. And you have to say, yes, I can. You have to have the decision made inside of you that you will make this happen. And the I can'ts have to go away, because if you say I can't, you're right. You're 100% right. If you say you can, you're right. You're 100% right. It is back to the power of one, one mission and one dream. Step up, um, step up for more. Help yourself by unleashing the power of you. If you aren't going all the way, why go at all? You know what? I want to tell you that consultant, manager, and director is still one, two, three. Simple. A consultant, you need to hold one party every single week and date two parties and have one new potential consultant each and every month. And so that you can build to the manager title. Managers, you need to have one new consultant every single week, and you need to hold two personal parties every single week. Now, obviously, those parties are COVID parties, they're Facebook parties, they're mega parties, whatever you choose to do. And support every consultant on your team to hold one party. Encourage them. You can't make them do anything, but you can certainly encourage them. All right. And then you directors, you need to welcome one new consultant every week, and you need to hold two personal parties every week, and you need to promote a new manager every month. Always looking at 1, 2, 3, whatever your 1, 2, 3 title is. Let's look at the potential of being a manager. You can potentially make $737.50 a month by being a manager, which is extremely part-time in Tupperware. It's holding one party a week, and it's actually working with your team to actually hold one party a week. And your team, as large as you can get it to go, but it only takes three to be a manager. And then you also have your potential manager earnings. I'm sorry. This is the potential manager earnings when you're only doing one party a week. This is where it jumps if you'll do two parties a week. That's a huge jump. Okay. But again, it's your choice. If you want a part-time job and you only want to work one party a week, that's perfectly fine. You're going to making around $700 a month on one party a week with just a manager title. But going to manager title with two parties a week, you're going to double your money to 1,500. Now look at this: holding two parties a week as a star manager, you're going to make $1,700. But if you're a star manager and you hold two parties, holding two standard parties a week, if you're a potential executive manager holding two parties a week, you're going to make $2,000. That's pretty good money. That's pretty significant for part-time and gig work, right? But that's not full-time in Tupperware. Full-time in Tupperware would be a director title. And even at director title, you have the option to work less than 40 hours for sure, because full-time in Tupperware would be about 20 hours a week. First time bonus, every time you are a new manager, you're going to get $100 bonus first time, and first time star manager 150, and first time executive manager $200 bonus. It's just our way of saying you're doing good. Here's a little bonus. Do something special for you and your family. Maybe McDonald's, maybe a drive-through twice in 1 week, whatever special is for you. And so I want you to know, as executive manager bonus, there is an extra bonus for those who achieve executive manager title. And that is when you achieve 7,500 and you have 2 consecutive months of that. The third time you achieve that 7,500, we start giving you a $150 bonus every month. All right. And so that 7,500 is the magic number that also puts you into the DIQ program and some other good things for that. But that is a very sweet spot. And I tell everybody, go for the 7,500 in the manager executive title because you're going to make more money there. What would you do if you knew you would not fail? Well, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? Believe in yourself. Would you try it? If you knew you weren't going to fail, of course you would. Well, I want to tell you, failing is a choice that you make yourself, consciously or subconsciously. You've got to decide that this is going to work and I'm going to make this happen, and train yourself, teach yourself, get on the calls like this. Every time you have an opportunity for training, get on the training. The more you learn, the more you will earn in this business. The best way to predict your future is to create your future. And that's what's so cool about this Tupperware business, because nobody says you can because you're a size 8 and you have blonde hair, and you can't because you're not a size 8 and you don't have blonde hair. This is a business that if you do this, this, and this, you're going to get this. And it's not a business that is ever going to have a glass ceiling for a woman or a man. All right. It is a business that you are going to make the future happen for you. To enter the DIQ program, it's very simple. You need to hit that 7,500. And once you hit that 7,500, and at least in that 7,500, 2,500 has to come from your personal recruits. All right. And when you have 500 personal in your personal sales, and you have at least 6 people that you personally brought onto the team, you're going into the DIQ program. When you hit that DIQ program, there's some really cool things that are going to happen, because you can move up to achieve the director title by hitting $10,000 3 months in a row. You've got 3 months to hit $10,000, or a total of 30,000. No month less than that 7,500. I told you that's our magic number. No month less than that. You have to have 2 managers on your team. When you come out to be a director, you have to have 2 managers on your team paid as a manager that month as well. And so what's that look like? March, April, May. Okay. And so in March, you hit 7,500, or maybe you hit 10, right? And in April, and you've also got the $500 in personal sales and the 6 active recruits, personal recruits. Now, you might have 12 people on your team, but you recruited 6 of them. But you get to count the sales from all 12. All right. And so in April, you do it again. And in May, you do it again, and say maybe you did 10, 10, 10. That's pretty unusual, but it could happen. Usually there's a 10 in there and a 7, 5 in there and a 13 in there or something like that. But when you do that, then you're going to move up in the month of June, and we are going to give you $1,000 bonus for moving to the director title. Again, a way of saying you're doing a great job. Keep it up. All right. But it's not, you haven't arrived when you become a director. There's still more titles to have. And so one or more standard personal party each and every month is all it still takes in order to have that director title. Now, is that the best way to make money? No, you want to do more than that to make good money, but it's all you have to do. If you're looking for your minimums, although I don't like minimums, I like to go for maximums. All right. 20 or more standard parties on your team. Now, I will share with you, it may take less than 20, it may take more than 20, but it's an average of $2,500 parties on your team, and you're going to hit your 10 all the time. Now, doesn't that sound easy? How many of you could say, I can almost do 20 parties in a month myself? And it's true, you probably could. And so when you bring in 6 recruits, and you and your 6 recruits all together do 20 parties, you're going to be hitting that $10,000 in total volume sales. And it's going to make it so that you are a director in no time at all. There's two ways to getting paid at the director title. There is a profit plus check, and that is according to your sales volume. If the director team sells $20,000, the director makes 8%. At 15 to 19,999, it's 7%, and 10,000 to 14,999 is 6%. The commissionable volume is 75% of the total sales, and that's because the 25% already got paid out, and so they can't give you money off the 25% they already paid out. No, in other words, a team retail sales of $10,000 times the 0.75, that would be 7,500 you're actually paid on. And if you're getting paid at the 6%, you would get $450 bonus there. A profit plus bonus. Okay. You holding one standard party every week is again the same. And you can see potential director earnings. The minimum is 2,140, and that is low. And then if you were actually holding two parties personally every single week, you would see an easy 3,000. Now, how does it make this happen? Hold and date a party. Then hold those two parties and date two parties. Then hold those two parties and date two parties. Then hold those parties and date two parties. Then hold all those parties and date two parties. And hold all those parties and date two parties. Guess what happens? From one party right now, in a short 4 to 5 weeks, you could have 16 parties up. That's how it happens. All right. Now, the business here, by simply following this formula and using the $500 party average, your retail sales could be $15,500 over the next 5 weeks. Your profit would be $5,425. That's pretty amazing. All right. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, then you are a leader. And so what is a leader? Somebody that inspires others to be more than they are right now. 10 reasons to step up right now. Well, more friends, right? And that is true. And you know what? I want Ellen to go through these 10 reasons because she's going to find her picture on there a couple times. So Ellen, go ahead. Number 9.
All right, opportunity for exclusive training. Here at Champion, we have so many opportunities for you to be able to get trained. And not only on top of the level of things that we have going on here at Champion, we also have Tupperware. Tupperware does amazing training all the time for us. Even our regional likes to do calls for us every single month. So there is so much training available to you every single day. You can pick and choose. Some of it's on demand and some of it you can tune in just like this.
All right, number 8.
Number 8, satisfaction of helping your unit grow. That was something when I actually came to Tupperware, I told Pam I didn't want to recruit, which is kind of funny now. But I did. I told her I didn't want to recruit because I had been in direct sales before and I had done the whole recruiting thing. And I was frustrated because I felt like, I recruit people and they say they want to do all these things, but they're not taking action. And I took that on, right? I blamed myself. I blamed them. And then when I realized that, it's so much more than that, it kind of opened the floodgates to recruiting. And the thing that's cool about that is that it's kind of the more the merrier, right? And so I met some of the most amazing people that I never would have met had I never opened my mouth and shared that opportunity with them. And it's so rewarding to watch them soar, especially when they kind of come in and their confidence is lacking a little bit, or, they've just never attempted anything like this before, and just kind of helping them shine and grow and find a place that is theirs where they can succeed is so powerful, and it will fill your cup too. All right. Number 7. Oh, you want keep going? Okay. Number 7, more recognition for you and your unit. We do our recognition every single week. Pam usually kind of puts on the previous week's sales, and it's always fun to see your name in that recognition. And if you're following that success plan and you're doing a party a week or even 2 parties a week to double your income, you're going to be on the recognition. And it's so much fun when you see you and your unit working together to be on another level of recognition.
All right. Number 6.
All right. Number 6, increase your confidence. Okay, you guys might not believe this, but actually when I started in direct sales, I could not even do a speech in front of my dog. And I'm not even kidding. We saw all the dogs on here earlier. I had the cutest little Welsh Corgi, and she was laying on the couch looking at me, and I actually shooed her out of the room because I was trying to do my party. Okay, but I went from there to being able to, at the drop of a hat, do a training, not only on, in a venue like this, right here on Zoom from the comfort of my own home. But I've also done trainings for hundreds of people on the main stage at our Tupperware conferences. And you talk about a rush. And I never, ever would have had the confidence to do something like that had it not been for Tupperware and Pam, honestly. Pushing me to really expand my comfort zone all the time, every chance I got.
All right. And number 5.
Number 5, helping others achieve their dreams. It's so fun. Like, oh my gosh, I always thought, like, when I came to Tupperware and I started having some success, I was really excited about my own recognition. But then when I saw some of the people that were a part of my team getting recognized at Jubilee, and even at our regular champion rallies, they get recognized for stepping up to manager or having a phenomenal month in sales. It really just fills your heart. And honestly, I would rather see one of my girls having success and being recognized on the main stage at a Jubilee or a summit than I would just walk across the stage myself. It's that powerful, is helping people achieve their dreams.
All right. Number 4.
Number 4, opportunity for all expense paid trip to, so we've had many trips over the years, and we have many more trips to come in our future. And honestly, we have no idea where they're going to be. They're going to surprise us with all these amazing trips. Sometimes they're domestic and sometimes they're international. And that is just, it's so fun. And sometimes they're for the whole family. Sometimes they're just for you and your spouse. And sometimes they're just for you as a Salesforce member to go and bond with other Salesforce members, which is really powerful and cool. I never thought I would want to go on a trip without my family because I love experiencing things with them. However, something really powerful happens to us as men and women when we're able to step away from our family and fill our cups. And then when we come back, they're getting the best version of us because we have taken that time to be able to recharge and just get reinvigorated about the business. And so lots of different trip opportunities coming up. And I can't wait, honestly, to see where the next one is.
All right.
All right. Number 3, working smarter, not harder by teaching your unit to hold parties and recruit. Okay, so if you've been on any of our recognition things over the last year, you've seen I've had some pretty big paychecks, which is very exciting for me and my family to help us get to the next level of financial security, which we've been striving for years. However, I did not get there by doing only my parties. I got there through recruiting. I tell people all the time, you can make really good money selling Tupperware and doing parties, but the great money, the big paychecks, they come through recruiting. And that's when all you're doing is duplicating your efforts. So you're just kind of bringing up people in the business, just like you are being brought up in the business, and you're teaching them what you know and what you're already doing: dating parties, selling at parties, social selling, recruiting. You're just passing those things on, just like you would to your own children, right? You teach them to do things that you do so that they can be successful humans, right? We're doing the same thing in Tupperware, so you can do that too. All right, number 2, be a part of your organization's leadership team. Oh my gosh, I love this picture. It was such a fun day right outside of the studio. And we do have so many openings in leadership, especially right now. Right now is the time to really step up as the leader because we have some big months coming up. And if you're new in Tupperware, you may not be quite aware of the significance of the next couple months in our business, and that you can really make a lot of money in the next couple months, giving you some extra money for the summer, maybe summer sports, maybe summer activities, or maybe just to pay some bills for the summer so you have less stress in your family. So right now is the time to really step up and join our amazing leadership team.
Absolutely. And last but not least, I want to tell you that the money is unlimited. And here is the number one director from last month. Actually, this is January. She made 32,000. 32,000 in a month, people. That was a director. All right. The number one executive director in the country made 92,000 in January. That is very significant money. She's making about $1 million a year. Now, is that normal? Absolutely, it's not normal, but I'm not here to be normal. Are you? And so you've got to decide if you're going to go for this and what if? What if you were a huge success in Tupperware, whose life would be different and what would be amazing for that? You know what? I hope you enjoyed the call tonight. I hope you enjoyed the screens we shared with you tonight. If you have any questions, we want you to put them in the chat right now or come off and just share with us. Anybody have a question? I wasn't able to read the chat, but if there's anything in the chat, Jenny, that I need to read, were you reading?
A lot of people were working on their eye stories right here in the chat when you asked them to
love
talk about
it.
it. Yeah. So they were talking about why they became to Tupperware and why they stayed. Super fun, just kind of seeing all that going on.
Yes, I love it. Okay. Anybody have any questions? We're here for you. You've got Ellen, you got Pam, you got Jessica, you got Jenny. I think there's some other directors on here as well.
Mary and Amy,
There you
Debbie.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Lots of people ask. Okay. All right. We hear some thanks coming in on the screen on the chat right now. Thank you for being on. And I want you to go to bed tonight thinking, what if? You know, the very first time somebody said to me, yeah, I made $100,000 in Tupperware, I couldn't sleep. I'm not kidding. I couldn't sleep. I went to bed that night and thought, what if I made $100,000 in Tupperware? What can I do? I mean, my life would be so different if I could bring $100,000 in to the family. That would be over and above the money Jimmy was making already, which was making the bills, but it wasn't making the extras. And I started dreaming, and I thought I'd put a swing set in the backyard, and I would want to do this. I'd want to put carpet in this room, and I want to change this room. I'd want to get a new bedroom set. Oh, I'd want to get a new bed, and I want to get a new refrigerator, and I want to buy steaks. There's all kinds of things I was dreaming, and I just kept thinking and thinking and wishing and thinking, and finally I just said, you know what? If it is to be, it's up to me. And my leader at that time would say that all the time. And it made sense to me that I didn't need to wait on somebody else to make me rich and successful. I didn't need to win the lottery. I needed to go to work and make it happen. So I want you to write that down right now. If it is to be, it's up to me. And you've got to set a goal. And yes, you're not going to get the $92,000 check next month. You're right. You're not. All right. But what if you could move to manager next month? And the month after, you could move to star manager. And the month after that, you can move to executive manager. What will that take? That'll take you being consistent, dating a party every single week, and having at least one recruit every single month. I personally will share with you, when I got serious about Tupperware, my attitude was, a dating a day will keep Jeannie away. Because at that time, Jeannie Ward was the leading position in our Tupperware organization. She was who I am today. And she had this big fancy car, and she drove this really, really nice car, but she had this really nice house. And she had all those things I have today, but I was scared to death of her. And I want you to know, you never have to be scared of me. Now, she's a sweet lady, but she just scared me, right? Because I was always afraid she would call and say I wasn't doing enough. I had to turn the car in, and it was a different program back then. But I want to tell you, she scared me. And so my attitude was, a dating to date will keep Jeannie away. So I had to have a party dated every single day. I worked to date a party every day because I wanted to make my goals. I wanted to be different. I wasn't here to be average. I wanted to have a new party in my schedule every day. Now, obviously, these are Facebook parties. These are part of your mega parties, whatever you choose to do. But I would work really hard to do that. And if I could do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I got to take the weekend off and I didn't have to do it. And so I would reward myself. And it was just my game that I played with myself. It wasn't a Tupperware program. It was who I was going to be and where I was going to go. And so you make up your mind to go where you want to go. And the strongest force in the universe is a woman's desire. So if you want it bad enough, you'll find it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the call tonight. Appreciate you.